So I've had this bike for a week and I'm actually just taking it back to Ducati now. Boo! And one of the things I really like about it is how well suited it feels for the road. It's not got like, it's got 157 horsepower and it doesn't frustrate. So it's not like you're sitting on a 200 bhp missile that you can never really truly exploit on the road, at least not without fear of going to prison. Don't get me wrong, this will do some very naughty things. So on the road, it's really involving and engaging to ride. I should tell you a bit about the electronics. It's got 3 riding modes: race, road and wet, and they can all be customized. So at the moment I'm in race mode. The engine braking controls on 1 out of 3 settings, I think, from memory. DTC is 4 out of 8 settings, and ABS is 2, and you can alter how intrusive you want the ABS or switch it off. And you can also change the amount of power the engine gives you. It's kind of not too bad to customize all the settings, although I had to download the manual to get a proper look at it, and actually it's not that clear. So you just have to go in and press buttons, and you've got controls here that show you what to do. Certainly not the most intuitive system I've ever used. It's not as intuitive as my KTM anyway. It's easy enough, and then once you've set your modes up to your liking, they're just stored and the bike remembers them, which is nice. It's also got a great set of brakes on it. It's got twin 4-piston Brembos. They don't have the sharpest initial bite, but they've got amazing feel and tons of power. So when you squeeze them on, they might not, shock you, but the more you bring the lever back towards the bar, the better they feel, and they're so nice, so nice. One of the other things I really like about this bike is its front end. It just feels so planted and stable. When you're on the brakes, the front end just buries itself into the ground. It gives you so much confidence when slowing down, but also when turning. And when you turn this bike, it can be at pretty much any speed. The front end just feels so confident and assured, and I guess weighty. I don't mean that it turns slowly. I mean that it just gives you the confidence to feel like the front tyre's always being pushed into the ground, and it's lovely. What haven't I talked about yet? The comfort. Alright, well, it's a sports bike. It's got a really compact riding position. I'm pretty small, and I normally don't have a problem with comfort on sports bikes unless I've been riding them for a very long time, and this is kind of much the same. It's really compact, puts a lot of weight on your wrists, especially if you're in town and you're just sort of trudging around. If you must ride it through a city, which I must do, is it's uncomfortable on your wrists. Kind of just puts a lot of weight there, and constantly be gripping the tank and holding yourself up, or just put up with having slightly sore wrists if you're really lazy, like what I is. You kind of notice it when you're in the city more than when you're having a zen-like ride on your favourite road, when it kind of obviously all makes sense because it's a sports bike. But when you get onto some more open roads, it's actually not that bad. It makes sense as well, and it puts you in a really aggressive, commanding position, which is obviously precisely what you'd expect from a sports bike. And by the way, this video is by no means a full in-depth review. It's just a sort of a few observations about the bike. I tend to record these and then I use this as a bit of a reference point. So now I'm putting them out there. Oh, let's talk suspension. At the front, the fully adjustable Showa forks are really nice. I really like them. Even in standard trim, they feel really good, and actually they're not too harsh for the road, and they give pretty decent feedback when you're on a nice country lane and you're pushing on, and it's kind of, at the moment, for me anyway, at least, neither too soft nor too hard. The only thing I would change if I had this bike in my possession for a bit longer would be the rear shock, which is okay, but if you go over anything bumpy, it's kind of, it won't think twice about sort of chucking you out your seat occasionally, and it's just quite firm. I find the rear a little bit firm. The engine delivers its power in such a controlled, smooth and precise way that it's so easy to get on with and get to grips with. It's kind of I guess it's quite friendly in that respect. Maybe that's probably one of the reasons why it's so good on the road. It's a really accessible superbike. I don't know if you can see this, but this guy in front of me has got a massive teddy bear as his pillion. Welcome to the M25. Bloody hell. 20's plenty. And riding in the city or any urban environment is not where the 959 excels. It's cooking my nuts. It's cooking my arse. It's saying 98 at the moment. I've seen it at 106. It gets ridiculously hot. Other reasons to enjoy your 959 Panigale out in the countryside or on a racetrack. It's got a quick shifter and it works beautifully. It's lovely. But when you're sort of pottering around, it's not. You don't really benefit from it. It's kind of a bit clunky, and I find myself having to use the clutch to change gear just because I get a smoother gear change. But when the bike is absolutely singing, it's wonderful. It sounds amazing. Gives you a smooth gear change. Yeah, it's really nice. But you can't. Obviously, you can't exploit it in a city. He's a bit too old to be riding a scooter, isn't he? This is my favourite bit of my ride into the office, is coming over Blackfriars Bridge, and I just love it. You get such a nice view, and in the evening, when the sun's setting, it looks amazing. There's St Paul's Cathedral. I'll be your guided tour for today. I'll be your tour guide for today even. And this is the typical London traffic. Thanks, mate. Cheers, fella. Yes, we're through. One step closer to coffee, maybe cheeky little almond croissant. Oh. So here we are back at Ducati. I'm about to give the keys to this bike back. But the one thing I forgot to say about this, which is really, really important, is how it makes you feel. I'm quite lucky that I get to ride different test bikes, and that's really nice. But this 959 is the kind of bike that makes me want to let people think that I own it. I think that's probably the best way to put it. So for example, on the way up here, I was stopped at a petrol station. The guy got out of his car to talk to me about it, and normally if someone asks me about the bike, I kind of try and, I don't want them to think that I own it. I feel like a bit of a fraud. So but this time I was happy to let him think it was mine, and that's I think that's significant because I'm sure that's how people who own these bikes feel. It's beautiful to look at, and when I open my garage door of a morning, I do like looking at it. I do like riding it. It makes you feel special, and people stop to talk to you about it, and they look at you in the street, and people pay attention to you on this bike because it's a beautiful looking and sounding thing that makes you kind of feel special. I think that's worth a lot. I think that's really important.